Edison's power in New York City. In the 1900s, many American films were made in New York City, which is where Thomas Edison was based. Over time, Edison created many patents, which means that Edison owned a lot of film technology. And if anyone wanted to make a film in New York, they would have to pay Edison some money. In 1908, Edison gained even more power when he founded the Motion Picture Patent Company, or MPPC. Edison's goal was to make every film production use his technology, so that everyone would use the same camera, the same film stock, the same equipment, and so on. If this happened, he would have gotten paid for every film made in New York City. Many people did not want to pay Edison, so to escape his patents, filmmakers began moving to the opposite side of the USA and started making films in California. But Hollywood had other benefits besides being far away from the MPPC. The weather. California is a warm, dry state, unlike New York, which has cold winters and many cloudy days. California, on the other hand, is sunny year-round. This meant that filming outside was much easier, and films could be made during any season. Also, production was not interrupted by bad weather so often in California. The scenery. California has many different types of landscapes, with mountains, beaches, woodlands, valleys, and deserts. This meant a studio could make a wider variety of genre films with California's natural scenery. Furthermore, California was far less crowded than New York, so studios had the space to build huge sets and sound studios, meaning that making films was even easier. A great success. The cinema industry became very popular very quickly in California. By 1910, Hollywood was very important to Los Angeles's economy. In the 1920s, many Americans suffered during the Great Depression. At this time, many people lost their jobs, and many businesses could not make money. But the Hollywood film industry was not really affected, and by the early 1920s, around 80% of films made worldwide were Hollywood productions. Opportunity from tragedy. Before World War I, Europe had a very strong film industry, with many people improving cinema, and huge studios like Gaumont in Paris were very successful. But when World War I started, many European film studios were either closed down or the government consolidated them. This means the government combined all the studios in their country together. By combining all of the studios, the governments would have one big studio which they could control. Less films were made in Europe, and the ones that were often focused on the war. But Hollywood films were mostly unaffected, and they continued to make entertaining films that were popular around the world.